Siona God of afternoon, Wado. Hello all. Good afternoon and thank you for watching. I wanted to start reading this as it seems like it's needed, and I'll just make it like 10 minutes long and hopefully I can do it every day. The book is called Transformation of America. It's the true life story of a CIA mind control slave by Kathy O'Brien with Mark Phillips. And Mark Phillips is the one that rescued her. He was working within the government and he had a conscience and got her out. So it says, in loving memory and honor of Mark Phillips, 1943 to 2017, U.S. government whistleblower who dedicated and ultimately gave his life to empower humanity to peacefully reclaim their inherent right to free thought in light of truths he exposed. This documented testimony is therefore dedicated to fulfilling his life's mission to eradicate child abuse, human trafficking, and ultimately mind control, arm our military veterans with knowledge to stop the war within, peacefully restore individual and national sovereignty by empowering reclamation of innate human values, love, and strength of spirit in light of truth that makes us free. Should have had the start of this marked. Okay, so it says 17th printing. Oh, part 1 by Mark Phillips, 17th printing. Since the first printing of Trance was released, I guess we'll say released, but it's a typo. In September 1995, many of the hard to comprehend details have been verified and miraculously managed to surface through our controlled medias. Please help us any way you can to provide this book to anyone who will further research its contents and thus shine the light of truth on the psychological warfare plan that is being silently waged against humanity. Please remember, for as long as your thoughts remain free, and consider the psychological annoyance poser of a single mosquito in a room with no light. This book will remain in print until justice prevails. The technological antidote for Kelly is provided, and unbiased, uncensored mass news media attention is given to the contents of this book. Thank you for your support. So for me, this book was like the Epstein Files to me, right? Mind-blowing. Foreword by Mark Phillips, with liberty and justice for all. Preamble to the United States Constitution. My name is Marquart, M-A-R-Q-U-A-R-T, and he goes by Mark Ewing Phillips, born May 17, 1943 in Nashville, Tennessee. I have no criminal record and I have never been adjudged insane. I am not a scholar, professional, writer, or mental health physician. While I lack the official published academic credentials, I am recognized internationally by mental health and law enforcement professionals as an authority on the secret science concerning external control of the mind. The purpose of part 1 of this book is to document how this reputation was gained. This brief and highly condensed contribution is intended to provide an understanding of why, when, and where I embarked on a study of the most secret technology known to man, trauma-based mind control. Through the publication of declassified United States government documents, our U.S. Department of Defense, DoD, admits that this ancient wizard's mechanism for control is so dangerous that most information pertaining to it must be classified as top secret. As the employee of a DoD subcontractor with exposure to mind control research, I was required to sign an oath of secrecy. To this day, I am restricted by law from revealing certain information that directly pertain to my employment. As among the sensitive exposures, a U.S. DoD subcontractor in mind control research. This super secret technology is an evolved system of remote human physical and psychological manipulation that has only recently been officially recognized by accredited mental health physicians for what it is: absolute mind control. My first encounter with mind control research began in the late 1960s in Atlanta, Georgia, on the Emory University campus at the Yerkes Primate Center. It was there that I learned about primate behavior modification, the basis for human mind control. Part 1 of this book is my attempt to impart an understanding of how this and other exposures would prepare me for the challenge of a lifetime. What I witnessed in terms of technology at the Yerkes Primate Center and other government-sponsored research facilities, combined with years of personal research into the science of mind manipulation, did not adequately prepare me for what I would be exposed to in 1988 through an unexpected chain of events. This exposure came in the form of a personal acquaintance with the human results, officially entitled by DoD as, among other cryptic files, titles, MK Ultra. I have outlined this noxious introduction in hopes that the material provided by one MK Ultra survivor, Kathy O'Brien, will incite a legitimate federal investigation of her claims. I was able to liberate MK Ultra victims Kathy O'Brien and her daughter Kelly from the invisible grip of the U.S. government secret weapon of control. In the process, I also helped Kathy recover her mental and physical health. However, I have not been successful in enlisting the cooperation of my government to pursue the justice issue. There is a reason for this failure to obtain justice that you, the reader, need to know. I have been told repeatedly justice is not obtainable for reasons of national security. This book is primarily the autobiography of Kathy O'Brien, who did not volunteer for service to her country, but was used her entire life against her innate voluntary will for perpetuating criminal activity by many so-called leaders within the U.S. government. These treasonous leaders did volunteer for political service from our country. They must be held accountable for their actions. Together, Kathy and I have dedicated our lives to pursuit of justice and rehabilitation for her and Kelly. All avenues for justice and rehabilitative relief have been blocked for reasons of national security. The question arises, whose security? Kathy O'Brien provides the logical answer. Perhaps after reading this work, you will inspire others to read it. Collectively, as patriots, we can make a positive difference for Kathy and Kelly, our government, and humanity by having our voices heard. In my opinion, our great United States Constitution does not need to be amended. It needs to be enforced. The grim reality we must all embrace is that there is in human terms no justice and no revenge adequate to equal what these two and many other victims of this U.S. government secret weapon experienced. The only remaining remnant of opportunity for justice for these survivors would derive from a public forum expose of what they experienced. What these survivors need to witness is the mass dissemination of their story and a radical positive change in their government's management of secrets. This would be an acceptable, though belated, substitute for justice. Their hope lies in the behalf that truth lives as a wretched life, but always survives a lie. Anonymous. Chapter 1, Mind Control by Any Other Name. Sometimes words or groups of words found in the English language have many definitions or meanings. Within each meaning, there may be different logical and literal perceptions of the application of a given word. However, the words mind control usually conjure up a single response. This is most unfortunate due to the vast differences of perception contained within the reference. For example, if you have access to a late 1980s Random House or later Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary, in reference mind control, you will notice there is a conspicuous absence of a listing. Should you go one step further and secure a college professor's teaching copy of Oxford's Companion to the Mind, Oxford Press, 1987, you can reference practically anything to mind, anything concerning research of the mind, sans a reference to mind control. Perhaps you may now realize that through Random House, Webster, and Oxford Press omissions, you are a victim of information control. So until tomorrow, don't have to go home. Love you, mean it.